Hey, what's up everyone? Mike Bennett here at musictrainer.com. Today we're going to focus on those of you guys that maybe just got your drum kit and are trying to set it up and are looking at all these crazy parts and crazy drums and not really sure how to put it together or where to put them on the drum set. So let's take some time. We'll start at square one and I'm going to take you through the whole process and make sure your drum set is set up right and comfortably for you. So right now I've got my drum throne here. Your basic drum throne, I make sure right away that I'm at a comfortable height. Maybe sitting low is comfortable for you, maybe sitting high is what's going to be comfortable for you. I've kind of found that I like my legs at kind of a slant. So this is just, before I'm even playing the drums, where I'm comfortable sitting. And I've also got this on a carpet here. If you're setting up your drums on a spot that has hardwood floor, you're going to want a carpet down or just any sort of rug, so that way your drums aren't sliding. When you're kicking things and hitting stuff, they're going to move around, and this will give it a little something to grab onto and also won't damage your floors. So make sure you got that, got your drum throne, and let's grab your bass drum and let's get that set up. All right. You got your bass drum right here. A lot of times you might hear guys call this a kick drum too, so don't get confused if you hear that. First thing you want to do, got our heads on, we're all good to go. For more information on tuning, visit the tuning section of Music Trainer. And we call these the spurs on the side. You got to be careful to make sure either the rubber or the metal spur is out on most drums. Right now I've got it just so there's rubber, but if you want and you find it sliding, pull these back just a little bit and a little sharp piece of metal will come out and kind of help the drum stay in place. So now that I've got the drum on the ground, seated pretty good, it's not moving, we need a bass drum or kick drum pedal. All right, to put the pedal on, we want to loosen up right here. And we're going to go back to the hoop. Hoop here, you're going to notice a little bit of tape, sometimes some rubber, and usually it comes on the hoop already, but you might have to put this on yourself. What this is going to do is just protect it from scratching and also get a little more grip. Lift the drum up slightly and you can just slide this right on. Loosen the attachment below. All pedals are going to be a little different, so loosen it up, and then you want to tighten it on so it's snug on here. Not too tight. I never like to over tighten things. Everyone kind of likes a different pedal tension, so you got to find what's going to work good for you. I kind of like a medium tension, and you're going to be able to do that with the spring here. So by adjusting the spring, you can make it tighter or looser. And you're going to notice this immediately once you put your foot on the pedal, the difference in the way the pedal is going to play. You'll feel that tension right away. So get it at a comfortable point. The beater attaches right here on the cam. So we just want to put the beater in and make sure that it's lining up off the center. The big misconception is that we always hit in the center of the drum. I like to put it off just a little bit. That's going to help you get the best sound. So right away, we're snug and we're good to go. So kick drum is in place. Let's throw the snare drum into the equation. So now we have the snare drum added to the kit. Bass drum, snare drum, our two key components. And again, tuning, if you want to get your snare drum in tune, go to the tuning section here on Music Trainer and check out the videos. All right. The snare drum is going to go on the snare drum stand. It tends to look like a basket, that's going to hold the snare drum. So first things first, when you open it up, get the legs so that they're just to a point to where they can hold the drum. You don't need to open them up all the way all the time. Then insert the snare drum here into the basket. Making sure we're not hitting the strainer, and I try to make sure that I'm not right on any of the lugs. I don't want to put any pressure on there. Using this part of the stand, so you have to lift it a little bit, get it snug in there. So the stand, these rubber arms here are holding the drum. As you can see, we're firm in place. Now, if we want to adjust the angle, we can do that too. So we want to get an angle that's comfortable for you to play. I tend to like a pretty tabletop feeling out of the drums, but some people like a real harsh angle inward, and some people like it facing away from them too. Get comfortable with your kit, find out which one's going to work best for you. Lastly, we can adjust the height. Right now we have this thing as low as it can go, but we can bring it up really high if you're a high hitter, or if you even want to play your snare drum standing up sometimes. So get it to a point comfortable for you. And again, I find most of my comfort level is a little bit below me. So I tend to have everything kind of sitting low. So now we have the kick drum and the snare drum and our 2 key components set up. Let's throw some toms into the mix. All right, so we have our first tom here, or rack tom, hanging tom, or some of the words that get thrown around. And this drum generally can be mounted off of the bass drum. So I've got a mount here that slides into this bass drum and the receiver here that I can mount this tom on. Some bass drums also don't come with the tom mount, and you have to mount this off of a cymbal stand, which I actually tend to do a lot and really enjoy. But feel free, if it's on here, to take advantage of the bass drum tom mount. So, sliding in, making sure it's locked in place. And again, not over tightening. I want everything just to be comfortable. You can strip the screws or, break things if we tighten too much. So now with this particular tom mount, I can adjust the height if the drum is too low, which again, I like everything as low as it can go usually for my personal comfort. So pushing it back down there, and from here we can adjust the angle. So I want it a little bit of an angle in here, and this one is kind of cool too because I can push it back and forth. Now tightened up, and we have our tom in place.